Now the best example of we can use it in your CPU, or we can use it in your or we can take an example of your mobile phone. Now what happens with your CPU? In your CPU, suppose you have stored your PPT, which you were supposed to give it in the EVS presentation on the E drive. In E drive, you have created a folder of your name, and inside that you have stored the respective PPT, the PowerPoint presentation. Suppose you want to access it. First, what you will do, you will switch on your PC, you will open the desktop. Before opening the desktop, if you have a password for your login account, you will put the password. Then you will go to My Computers. After going to My Computers, since your data is stored on E drive, in on E drive there is a folder, so you'll click on E drive. After going to E drive, you will open what? After going to E drive, you will open your respective folder. Inside that respective folder means which will be on your name. Suppose I create a folder called Madhura. In my CPU, you will create a folder according to your name in your CPU, and you will open that folder, and after that you will get your PPT. If you see on the toolbar above and on the taskbar above, there you will see what? The entire address which was required to you to locate. This work is being done by the control bus. All the products of associated with your PC are bought into synchronization, means they have to be hand in hand with each other. Now how they will be hand in hand with each other? At the same time, the CPU should give signal to the mouse or to the keyboard that on whichever point it goes on clicking, and that data has to be displayed on your screen. If this data is not displayed on your screen, you will not rightly understand whether the CPU is working or not. If at all you cannot do through mouse, you can do give the input through the keyboard also, by typing the respective address in the search bar, and after searching it you will get the respective, not search bar, you can see the search window. After typing the respective data, you will receive your output. Now what are input devices? Now certainly we discussed certain input devices. In input devices we have keyboard. The direct input devices these days USB is also considered. Then we have key to diskette, that is the floppy disk. Key to disk, that is the hard solid disk. Then we have key to tape, that is you can use reels. These reels were used few years ago, few means more than 20 years ago. And keyboard entry input device. So your keyboard plays a very key role in your life to use CPU, or you can say to use computer. Now what all things are available on your keyboard? On your keyboard there are almost 128 keys, out of which are divided into three parts. First is alphanumeric keys, in which we have A to Z. You have some special characters like space, colon, then full stop, so on and so forth. Then you have digits 0 to 9. 0 to 9 once is displayed on the is available on the calculator side. Another one is available besides the alphanumeric keys. After that you have certain special characters like enter, backspace, shift, delete, then alt, control, then windows. And then there are specific key functions like which are from F1 to how much. That is your homework that you all find today. After that we will go to the next part, that is different types of programs can be added to the computer through this. Now keyboard is a entry input device. There are of three types, as we priorly discussed. Key to diskette means if you enter any data from the keyboard, it could be recorded in the floppy disk. Floppy disk is a storage device which was used at least some 10-15 years ago, I remember I had used a floppy disk to store information related to my engineering admissions. So it has a notch, the protective notch, which does not allow the floppy to copy the information to the CPU. The floppy slot of your CPU is now not available. Prior, there was a slot. When you used to open that slot, a rectangular dip was available inside it. These days, we have CD slot in on our CPU or on our laptop in order to store the information. Then there is a hard disk connection. Hard disk can be internally connected to your CPU, without which the information cannot be processed. Key to tape. Now from where did this concept come into picture? You all have seen the animation of a reel. How does it look like? It has a thickness of approximate 1.5 inches. Sometimes some reels had a thickness of 1 inch, and beside that there are small boxes punched. These small boxes, why do we use these small boxes? These small boxes are made in order to slide the reel smoothly. This reel is connected on the, what you can say, that is uh, on a drum. The drum has the other part, that is the pointed spokes on it, which appear to look like rectangles fitted on that rail. And these, you cannot say even the rectangles, you can say the cuboid fitted on those reels, and these are responsible for coiling a reel and uncoiling a reel. Coiling मतलब रोल करके रखना, uncoiling मतलब reel का को open करना. Then we have all the information is stored besides the punched lines. The space in between is used to connect those both the sides, the front side of the reel and the back side of the reel. Both the sides at the punched ends could be used. If you want to see such a reel at home, you can either Google, or you can see such reels at home in the form of negative. If you have old photos at home, definitely ask your parents, do we have negative of it? After looking at negative, you will understand everything. Then comes mouse. Mouse has 2 to 3 buttons in entry direction. Input device it is. It can be rolled on the tabletop. It connects with the cursor on the screen. The pointer is used to draw pictures and various other things. Then we have light pen. Light pen is used, it's a sensitive pen in the direct entry and of the input device. When it is placed against the CRT screen of a particular terminal, that is X and Y of the machine, thus it can perform drawings even on the CRT screen, that is the cathode ray tube screen. Now you will say, ma'am, हम लोग किधर cathode ray tube screen use करते हैं? This cathode ray tube screen was available in the screen of old kind of monitors. These days all our monitors are LCD screen kind of monitors. So the information given in the book and the information which you are experiencing today is different. Then we have digitizer or the scanner. Now who is this digitizer? What is the use of digitizer and scanner in your day-to-day life? A digitizer or scanner, it's an optical device. It scans the data sheet which is kept over it. It scans with the help of light. Light gets converted into digital information. Now where is this scanner available? It performs the work of your camcorder or the QR scanner which you have used. Now then we have magnetic ink character recognition. Now what is the use of magnetic ink character recognition? This is used where? This is used to check your OMR sheets. It is also used in the optical scanner. Now here what happens? The specific ink with the code is being read. You all have seen some lined codes available on various products these days. These lined codes are responsible for sending the information associated with the product in a secret pattern. Then after this you have the optical scanner or the optical character recognition. These devices are available in the supermarkets. Just to scan the product over it, and the reader will accept all the information, and information like the cost, the quantity, the type of product, uh, and the offer associated with the product is being directly displayed. So with this we conclude the input devices. In the next part of this same lecture I will start with the output devices.